Are we actually going to answer questions, or are we going to play hopscotch around this bitch all goddamn day? Because I asked you how you would feel if Shelly did that to Jeremiah, and you talked about, I was happy when Chris was dancing on people. What the hell does that got to do with the tea in China? I'm talking about Jeremiah. Oh, I was happy when everybody danced on Chris. I'm still talking about Jeremiah. What did you mean Chris had a wondering eye? I mean, I've moved past it. That was her favorite line. I've moved past it. It's really easy to move past something when you the one that did the shit and ain't talked to the person you did it to. Oh, now all of a sudden you move past it. Well, great. It's good thing we're at a reunion where we address all the things that actually happened. Rather, you've moved past them or not. You guys, I literally wanted to throw my television out of the window. What the hell you mean you felt bullied after you seen a clip? You mean to say that you went on that Call Her Daddy podcast and said that you felt bullied in the villa and you had to go talk to psych by yourself because you felt so lonely? And when we asked for an example of it, it wasn't even based on your own experience, but based on what you seen online. How you felt bullied in that moment when you didn't even know that that was happening. You didn't even see it till after the fact. Now, all of a sudden, bullying is the wrong word. You didn't have no other examples of feeling bullied? Your example was based on not your actual experience, but the experience of what somebody else perceived, what the audience perceived, what the audience said. Was that clip nice? No. Was it bullying? No. Do y'all even know the definition of bullying? Do y'all even know the definition of love bombing? Let me tell you. Bullying, the repeated is the key word, repeated actions or threats of actions directed toward a person by one or more people who have or are perceived to have more power or status than their target in order to cause fear, distress, or harm. So again, I ask you, how were you bullied? Now all of a sudden you use the wrong word. Now all of a sudden you spoke on emotion. Now all of a sudden you're sorry. I made a video about that clip and I said, that wasn't nice. Say the shit to the girl's face. Because in that moment, they kept protecting her and nobody was saying anything to her face. So I didn't fuck with that moment at all. It wasn't nice. But having your feelings hurt and bullying are two different things. I really wish somebody would have clocked her on that. I really wish somebody would have been like, so you mean to tell me you felt bullied after you seen clips, not actually in the moment based on your experience? Because on the podcast, you said it was based on your experience. Now you're backtracking. Everybody had amnesia this motherfucking reunion. Clips made me feel bullied. How the hell you feel bullied after the fact? I'm so pissed that Shelly fucking apologized to her. But of course, she's moved on from it. Girl, doesn't it say something to you that nobody in that fucking house fucks with you besides Amaya? Like, you don't have no friends from the villa. It's you. When you do not have female friends, which she stated, it's a you problem. Can we get into the biggest thing of it all? The racism that was skated over. You mean to tell me that you didn't see any of the racism and hate directed at Shelly and Alandria, but you seen the racism and hate that was directed at you? You, in one breath, she says she didn't make the post. First of all, what kind of fucking response is that? I didn't make the post. Nobody said you did. Nobody said you did. That doesn't mean it's okay. That doesn't mean that you can't address your fans and tell them that this is heinous. This is disgusting. She still didn't do it. She should have looked at that camera and said, to my fans, stop that shit. That's gross. I don't condone that shit. Racism is disgusting. That photo was disgusting. You have a black daughter. Your daughter is biracial. She may not look it because she has the privilege of hiding her blackness because she is biracial. These two women do not have the privilege to hide their blackness. You date black men. You have a responsibility to speak up on racism against black people. He specifically asked you to make a post. You said that you would and you didn't. Talk about, I had so much going on, I didn't know what to say. Oh, well, you had so much going on, but you had enough time to answer Louis' DM. You had enough time to be caught canoodling with him days after you got out the villa. Like, be fucking for real. You didn't do it because it fed into your narrative of the victim. She's a professional fucking victim. And I cannot take it anymore. I cannot wait to never have to talk about this girl and never see her on my screen again. And I'm sure that if the racism against yourself was affecting you so much that you personally asked these two girls to talk to their fans about it, I guarantee you that they would have done it. But you did not give them that courtesy because you didn't want to. Her instinct is just to lie. Even the Netflix thing. I'm sorry, I'm under contract with Netflix or India or whatever. I can't talk about it. You should have just said, you know what? I'm choosing to keep my relationship private. You didn't have to lie. You are not under a contract. You are not under an NDA with Netflix. Louis violated his own goddamn NDA and you can't. To Andy Cohen's point, girl, you was publicly on a red carpet. Like, if you don't want to talk about your relationship publicly, maybe you shouldn't go on a public red carpet where it's public. The fuck? Guys, she's so full of shit. She couldn't keep it real. If real smacked her upside her motherfucking forehead. Oh, and you conveniently seen all the hate against Chris 2 days before the reunion. Bullshit. You seen that shit. You just didn't see shit. Like, you just a bat. You just didn't see shit. I didn't see the George Floyd place. I didn't see the hate against Chris. I didn't see this. But I seen everything that had to do with me. Like, you hadn't been out the Villa days, but you seen that clip of Shelly, right? I do feel like they didn't spend enough time on Chris and Huda. Like, I feel like there was so much that need to be said. Now, as far as the unseen chat between Shelly and Huda, for those of you out there like, Shelly lied, like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck did you see? Because it's exactly what Huda said, and it's exactly what Shelly said. How did we not all see that? Shelly is saying they had multiple conversations, one conversation that Huda miraculously forgot. Again, everybody had amnesia this reunion. Everybody just forgot what they said. Huda did say she wanted to get to know Chris, but she did emphasize that it was for Shelly. She even said, I'm excited for you. And if you guys have had multiple conversations where you're saying, I'm excited for you, this is for you, to Shelly's point, if I would have said no, you would have still brought him back. That's the scene that we didn't see, right? Like, if Shelly would have said, nah, I'm not really down with this plan, Huda was going to do it anyway, meaning you were really bringing Chris back for yourself. It was never about Chris, and it was never about Ace. It was about Huda keeping it real and just coming to Shelly and said, hey, I'm going to bring Chris back for myself because I want to get to know him. What the hell could Shelly have said to that? She didn't even have to include the part about it being about you. She could have just said, I'm bringing Chris back because I want to get to know him. We're going to choose each other. All Shelly could do was say, cool. It's Love Island. I'm not going to pick him. I'm going to pick Ace. You didn't have to make it seem like it was for her at all. That was the point. I feel like Shelly didn't really explain that well. Like, just don't say it's about me. Like, keep it real and say it's about yourself. Because if I would have said no, you would have still done it anyway. That was Shelly's point. Everybody's missing it. Like, oh, she wants Shelly. She wants both. She wants Chris. She wants Ace. It was never about that. Like, how do you guys not see that? Keep it real. Was so bucked up in your Vanity Fair article. I don't give a fuck. I'm not worried about who I'm seeing. And then on the reunion, I'm sorry. I moved past it. Oh my God, everybody's so great. Everybody's so amazing. I love everyone. Stand on it. Stand on it. Keep that same energy. Because to Shelly's point, you apologize, and then you go on your socials and you start talking big shit. You start whooping. That's why nobody can take your apology seriously. I'm passive, focused on your relationship. That's not what it's about. We're at the reunion talking about shit. Of course, I'm focused on my relationship. Stop deflecting. She tried to deflect the whole entire reunion, and it annoyed me. I'm really pissed that they didn't bring up the fact that she bullied everybody in the house. Like, we're going to talk about bullying. Let's talk about how you bullied and made everybody in the house uncomfortable. I would also like to point out, and in this interview that she said that she did address the racism, no, she addressed the bullying in a very small Access Hollywood interview that nobody freaking saw, and you didn't use the massive Call Her Daddy platform to address that because it wasn't important to you, you pussy ass. What y'all got to say about the heart rate challenge now? She absolutely did too much. She damn near sat on his face. Booty cheeks was this close away from his lip. You in a G-string, shaking ass in somebody else's man's face. And to Shelly's point, I shouldn't have to ask you, please don't lick the man I'm talking to's dick. Like, why you out here licking dicks on TV anyway? Like, it's just low class and it's fucking trashy, okay? Do that to your man. Do that to your partner. When you did it to Jeremiah, it was too much. But hey, at least that was yours, okay? Or what you thought was yours. Shit. If you notice, she really didn't apologize. It was like, hey, I'm sorry you felt that way. She said, I took it a step too far for some people. For all people, okay? You took it too far. Just take accountability. God damn, you duck and dodge accountability like you was ducking and dodging these goddamn questions the whole reunion. Overall, I think that they did a good job trying to hold Huda accountable, but you can't hold somebody accountable who doesn't want to be held accountable without it coming off as badgering. So you can redirect a question once or twice, but if somebody doesn't want to answer it, there's honestly nothing you can do about it. I feel like Andy and Ariana did a really good job trying to hold her accountable, but it just wasn't going to happen because her delusional ass fans have made her feel validated in all of her feelings. Andy tried to clock her at moments, when she thought her behavior was so fucking hilarious. Oh, it's so fucking funny. I've grown from it. I could laugh at it now. It's been a month. I'm so glad Andy clocked her. Like, girl, it's been a month. The fuck? Anywho, I think she's a shit ass person and she's a shit ass friend, which is why you don't have many friends, which is why these two women do not want to be your friend. And moving forward, I just hope she does better and she educates herself because she has a biracial daughter. She dates black men, meaning if you have another kid, it's most likely going to be black. Racism is awful on all fronts, which is why you should have spoken up about it. Not combat it with, well, they said things about me too. Like, anywho, if you support this girl after this, you're most likely just like her. Ask yourself, would you want a friend like her? And I bet you your answer is fucking no. She sucks. Okay, let's get into some rapid fire thoughts about the rest of the reunion since we covered the big stuff, which was Shelly, Alandria, and Huda. Ariana looked amazing. I think she's a great host. She found her calling as a host. Andy Cohen did an amazing job. He is the GOAT when it comes to hosting reunion. He brought up everything, almost everything. He asked about the TMZ with Iris. He asked about the Call Her Daddy podcast. He asked about all the internet stuff. He asked about the viral Moon River scene. He asked about it all. Now, do I wish they would have shown the unseen clip of Andreina saying that Huda was slamming drawers so we could have gotten the answer to that? Sure, but we can't ask for everything. We can't get an answer to everything. There are some topics that weren't discussed or briefly discussed, like Jeremiah and Huda. I feel like that was skated over. The fact that, you know, she was basically the love bomber. She was basically the one over exaggerating shit that he said, like the moving in comment. Skated right over that. The Huda and Chris situation, skated right over that. I felt like we need to spend a little bit more time on that. Huda saying that she didn't see the show. I feel like all of the cast members should be required to see the show before they come to the damn reunion. It should be in the contract. Bringing up the Brian cheating allegations. Chris saying, I didn't see shit, ain't shit happen. Andy, again, is asking all of the right questions. He had a lapse in judgment, pouring drinks in motherfuckers' mouths. Okay, but did you cheat? Like, I feel like everybody was playing hopscotch. Anyway, but they're trying to say shit was fine. Chris saying that it was weird. Again, more time should have been spent on this topic. The status of Nick and Alandria's relationship. They still not together. Nick didn't answer the question. Again, hopscotch. He ain't gonna speak to Sierra with good reason. She doing too much on the internet. Alandria actually, hopscotch, didn't answer the question on if she's talked to Sierra. And what the fuck was they talking about their journey? Was they talking about boinking? Because what we was talking about Big Belgium. Can somebody really please explain? Are we talking about the hippity dippity? Taylor, once again, when he came out, he did a little dance for Nick. I don't like it. He even brought up the curse of the going exclusive. And I think that this is the point where Ace said that we missed the plot and that we started going off of favorites. And then in the back, we see Austin saying it's a system you design. Now, I will say that Ace was fairly quiet during this reunion. I feel like he was trying not to be as outspoken because obviously he's gotten some backlash for being outspoken. I love Shelly and Ace now that they're out of the villa. I didn't like them in the villa, and it was because of strategy. So when Ace says that we missed the plot of the show, actually it's the opposite, right? We know the plot of the show, and we also peeped that you guys were following a specific strategy of what you believe the plot of the show was. I think that was fairly evident in this reunion. Taylor saying that, you know, oh, Jeremiah's not playing the game right. He's not doing Love Island right. Like, everybody had an idea of how Love Island should be played. And that is why you guys strategized to play it that way. And America picked up on that. And that's why they just started voting for favorites or started trying to create new couples, because they don't like to see couples strategizing. I love Shelly and Ace. I love Shelly, more so Shelly than Ace, but y'all was strategizing and it seemed like it was strategy. Like, oh, we're going to explore, and then come together in the end. And I think America peeped that. So no, we didn't lose the plot. If we lost the plot, then y'all lost the plot, because why are you sending people home for exploring? Like, that's what we've seen in the Hannah thing, right? Like, you're sending Hannah home for exploring. You're sending Jeremiah home for exploring. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all lost the fucking plot. Taylor apologized to Alandria. Okay. Very confused about this. I think since the reunion filmed, we've seen them all hanging out. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you the one talking about who's playing the game right and who's not doing shit right. Bruh, you just admitted to not being attracted to a girl and faking it the whole time until somebody you liked came into the house. Like, I mean, I know he didn't say that he faked it, but you weren't attracted to her. So who really wasn't playing it right? Like, sir, you should have went home in that vote. They brought up the Chillllleeee knowing each other rumors. Some people think that they didn't answer the question. To me, they very blatantly answered the question. They met at a club in New York and followed each other on social media, and it didn't go past that. The fuck? They didn't know each other. Get over it. Knowing each other and knowing of each other are two different things. Not boyfriend and girlfriend, but in love. I will never understand this new age dating of being exclusive but not being boyfriend and girlfriend. What the fuck does that mean? What is the difference? Somebody tell me. Okay, this whole Alandria versus Coco and Shelly. I wasted time. We spent way too much time on that. We could have given that time to Chris and Huda. Jeremiah and Huda, like something else. Like at the end of the day, nobody's standing on business. Everybody got amnesia. Everybody forgot. Everybody, I didn't say that. How convenient. Zach K, why the fuck were you there? He had amnesia too. I didn't say that. I don't know. I didn't say that on my live. There were so many people that could have just absolutely not been there. Like the whole Casa Amor segment, I feel like we could have just nipped that right on out because nobody cares. Like I literally don't care. Like JD did not say one singular word. Like why are we here? Jaden and Austin. Was Austin on drugs, you guys? Like, what the hell was going on there? I know I seen a post, a video, a YouTube of him saying that he used to be addicted to opioids. I don't know what was going on, but he was not there and it was weird. Their whole conversation, I could care less. Y'all didn't date outside the villa. He dated a girl, but y'all not dating. Who gives a fuck? Oh God, the Grayson of it all. Huda left the damn note. Now all of a sudden Grayson's a good person. She was there for her. She gave her advice. I thought you didn't have nobody in the villa. Now all of a sudden everybody's there for you. I thought you were bullied. Like now all of a sudden everybody's there for you. You love everybody. Everybody's great. That makes it even worse. Like you're the one that wrote this note about this girl if she was there comforting you. My God. But again, a segment that I could have done without. I don't give a damn about Grayson's note anymore. Brian and Andrina. I forgot you guys were together. I don't care. I don't care that you were having conversations with Jaden and Andrina didn't know. But Brian, was it trifling for you to go stand behind Jaden when you was coupled up with Andrina? Yeah, none of us knew you liked Jaden. We seen you mention it in one scene and that was about that. But again, this is time we could have used elsewhere. The Hannah vote, the extended scene of the Hannah vote still doesn't make sense. I have questions. Like, Landria was on the right path. We should do it based on couple, meaning Hannah would have instantly been safe. Shelly led the discussion. And again, it was based on exploring, right? She got sent home based on exploring. She wasn't exploring enough because she had 2 connections. Yet you have people in this chat who only had 1 connection. Like at that point, Olandria wasn't exploring. Her ass was stuck on Taylor. At that point, Shelly, your ass ain't exploring because you stuck on Ace and trying to pretend like you stuck on Austin. Sierra, your ass been stuck on Nick since you got in this villa. So what are we talking about exploring? Again, the conversation doesn't make sense. That's one question that I wish somebody would have asked at the reunion. Point out the fact that y'all talking about exploring and at that point, so many other people only had 1 connection and Hannah had 2. So Jeremiah, did you have blush on? And if so, what shade? Again, I feel like they glazed over this conversation because Jeremiah was making some valid points. By definition of love bombing, I did not love bomb you. By what I'm seeing reflected back on the television, you were telling people things that didn't happen. They didn't get no response from the rest of the cast because if you guys remember in that scene, that is when Alandria said, that's scary. He's saying he wants to move in with you that soon. That's scary. So that depicted a certain image of Jeremiah. I wish they would have asked the rest of the cast, like, was Huda coming back and saying some of these things to you? And is that what made you think that Jeremiah was a love bomber primarily? I wish they would have gotten an answer, right? Like, why did you go back and tell them this when he said that? Like, I feel like they glazed over that. Now, Jeremiah having a chat about followers and getting money and all of that. Okay, Ace had 1 million followers going into this experiment. Anybody who says that they're not there for the opportunities that this show is going to bring is lying. Jeremiah being like, would I do all of this for 50 bands? Absolutely you would. You may not need 50 bands now, but when you went into that show, 50 bands sure sounded like a lot. So you shouldn't have took that approach. Should have took more of their approach like, yeah, we're all there for opportunities and love. Like, 2 things can be true at once. Ace, I'm sure you were there for opportunities and love. Everybody was there for opportunities and love, and Ace found both, which is great. It seems like Ace and Jeremiah kind of squashed their beef, but it seemed like a lot of the things that Ace was taking serious was actually jokes from Jeremiah. The Jeremiah dumping was shown. Taylor led the discussion. Sorry, Ace. A bitch can admit when she wrong. I thought that was you for sure. Not because you still were the ringleader. You are a leader, but Taylor definitely led that conversation. And again, it was based on the correct way. So again, strategy. You guys are so focused on what's the correct way. Y'all lost the plot. We peeped that y'all was trying to do things the correct way. I love that Ace admitted that he regrets sending Jeremiah home. And y'all ain't fooling nobody showing the votes. Oh, it would have been Jeremiah and Hannah anyway. Bullshit. I don't believe that for a hot second. At that moment in time, we was waiting for a vote to get Austin's ass out of there. There is no way that Pepe and Austin had more votes than Jeremiah. And at the time, Amaya was not beloved as she is now. There's no way that Amaya and Iris had more votes than Hannah. Nice try though. Ace called out Amaya for her Alex Cooper video. I didn't see it. But yeah, that's basically it. That's basically what happened. Did they miss some things like Jeremiah apparently love bombing Andreina? Would it be better if I was ugly comment? The coercion of it all. How she treated others in the villa. How she reacted in challenges versus how she performed in challenges. A lot of stuff wasn't covered. However, we only had 2 hours. I'm sure couldn't cover it all. But for the most part, Andy and Ariana did an amazing job. Andy is the GOAT when it comes to reunions. And he did his big one. He tried to hold people accountable, but you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Shit. What did you guys think of the Love Island season 7 reunion? Snooze fest or entertaining?